You make mistakes. Mistakes don't make you. Too often we'll find ourselves nitpicking at small little mess ups that we would make, or even big mess ups, and we'll take those things, magnify it, and have this belief that that thing or couple of things defines us as a whole, defines us as a person. Even if you messed up your entire life, even if you weren't necessarily a good person your entire life, doesn't mean that that's how you gotta be today. Doesn't mean that that's what you gotta use to define who you are today. You choose what defines you. Because all that you're doing when you take that problem and you dwell in it and you make that who you are, make that determine your own worth, all that you're doing is living in the past, because you're replaying that moment in your head thinking that that's who you are. People think that just because they messed up 100 times means that that's who they gotta be for the next 100 times. That's not true. You might have a bad habit. You might have some addictions. You might have some problems, some internal problems that you may have, but that doesn't mean that you gotta define with it. And a lot of the time, the people who identify with their mistakes, identify with their past, identify with all the mess ups that they have done, in a way, that's something that their mind does to comfort them. They'll take that and use that as an excuse to not change because that's just who they are. And two, it confirms the identity that they have lived their entire life, that they are a person who messes up, or they have this wrong with them. And so that entire identity that they lived with their entire life, they don't want to let go, or you don't want to let go of the past, because that's just who you've been. And that's who you've been comfortable being. Because when it comes down to your habits and your day-to-day things that you don't like about yourself, you have done it so much to the point where it becomes an excuse in your head that that's just who you are, and therefore it's okay for you to do it. Not that it's okay, but it's okay for you to do it because that's just who you are. There's a lot of examples that I could say, but let's say, for example, you're someone who's trying to eat healthier. You have tried this so many times and you have failed so many times that you have created the identity in your head that you are a person who cannot stick to the program. You are a person who cannot stick to what you say you're gonna do. And so your mind has already created excuses and has already created a momentum of reasons of why you can't follow through with what you want to do. So then when you see some dessert laying around, you're like, shoot, like I could always try again, because you identify with somebody who has to try again, someone who does mess up. And so even with, it could be literally anything, even with the, like, being addicted to corn, you might be thinking like, oh, well, you've tried this so many times already, what's one more time? Like, that's just what goes on in your brain without you actually thinking about it, subconsciously. Like I said, it's being in the past, reliving the old mistake, thinking that that's who you gotta be right now. And that's the same thing with when you make a small mistake, and even if it's not a day-to-day thing, even if it's just like a one-time thing, it doesn't even have to be something that you do on the regular. It could literally be something that you do randomly, and you take it, you magnify it so that's all that you see. Let's say that you have one of those weighing scales, all the good is here and a couple of bads are here. You literally magnify so much on these small little things that you've done. Even if they're not small, it's only a few. And even if it isn't a few, it's not all of you, because you still got all the good over here. Or you still have the ability to change. But you magnify so much on the bad that's literally all that you see. Nothing else can be seen in your peripheral vision when you mess up, because you're hyper focused on it. You're hyper focused on it, thinking that that's who you are in the moment, when that's not who you are. That's just something that happened. That's just something that you didn't mean to happen. That's just something that maybe if you even did, that doesn't mean that that's who you gotta be. So you gotta step back and just look at everything for what it is, and realize that there's nothing serving you reliving that past mistake. There's nothing serving you taking that mistake and making it all that you are, because it's not all that you are, and it doesn't have to be all that you are. Even if you lived your life making 100 million mistakes, that doesn't mean that that's who you have to be. Let me show you my book. Hold on. This is a little journal that my sister got me, but it says, every moment we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. It's the same thing. What you need to truly comprehend is that the past honestly does not exist. The only time that exists is right now. And so if you have made a mistake and you constantly bring it back into the present, you're just choosing to be that same person over and over and over again, when you could be choosing to be a different person over and over and over again, because every single moment is a new moment. Every single moment you could choose to be a different person. Every single moment you can choose to say no to certain things and not identify with that problem anymore, because you know that that's not who you are. Who you are is who you choose to be. Who you are is who you tell yourself you are. And that brings me to my next point. Words carry energy. And so every time that you say I am, such as I am lazy, I am unproductive, I am addicted, I am blah, 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 whatever it is, you are taking that issue, you are taking that situation, you are taking that problem, and you're putting yourself right in the middle of it, making it who you are, making it define who you are as a person. But that is not you. So whenever you say these things about yourself, you're energetically putting yourself back into that version of you. You're energetically putting yourself down. There's been many experiments where they would talk nicely to one glass of water and talk badly to another glass of water. And one will freeze beautifully, one will freeze very distortedly. And there's been many experiments where it's just been the same type of thing. But what I'm trying to say is that words carry energy, and we give that energy to the words. And so when we tell ourselves these things, we are literally projecting that energy onto ourselves. And so we're literally putting our own selves down, and that is not serving us in any type of way. So you really got to look at it as, what is serving me, what is not serving me. Is identifying with this problem, with this mistake, serving me in any type of way? Is living in the past serving me in any type of way? No, it's only keeping you in a past identity that you don't want to be in. And the only way to stop identifying with that problem, to stop identifying with that mistake, is to stop telling yourself that that thing determines your worth, that that thing determines who you are as a person. And you might not realize it, but you be doing it subconsciously, out of habit. You need to literally tell yourself that, no, that's not who I'm gonna be anymore. No, that's not who I am. That's not who I am. And that will literally switch your whole entire brain chemistry, because it's like, oh wait, like I'm not that person. I don't have to be that person. Just because you messed up doesn't mean that that's who you have to be. And I say all that to say that that's not gonna mean that there's gonna be no consequences. But that means that you do not need to carry the burden of making that mistake. You do not need to carry, you need to carry the burden of the consequences, but like, you do not need to carry more than you have to carry. You do not need to carry more shame that you have to. Let go of the past and choose who you want to be now. Just remember, every single moment, new moment, new moment, new moment. Who are you going to choose to be? Every single moment, you're going to choose who you want to be. And you might have to keep on choosing it multiple times. You might slip up. That's okay. So long as you keep on rewiring your brain to think that way, no mistake that you make is going to be able to define you, because you've already made it clear to yourself that none of that can define you. So long as you're alive and breathing, you have all the choice to choose to be different. There is no rule book saying once you do something, that's how you got to be the rest of your life. Nothing is telling you that. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. It doesn't matter what anybody else's opinions are about you. Because at the end of the day, it is all about what you think about yourself. Because at the end of the day, who are you with? You are with yourself. And so long as you know who you are, so long as you know your truth, so long as you know that you have the purest intentions for yourself and for other people, and that even if you did own up to your wrong, you know that it's wrong, and you know that whatever you did was wrong, okay, cool, like, next. Okay, acknowledge it, move on to the next moment. And it doesn't matter what they say about you. It doesn't matter what type of opinions they may have about you. Who are you to yourself? Who are you to the person that actually matters? You. You are the only person that's going to be with you forever is you. The only person who you're going to hear talk to you on the daily is you. And it's so funny because whatever we do to ourselves, we're also doing to other people. That's what this whole entire cancel culture thing is. That's what this whole entire, like, every time on social media someone does something wrong, social media goes crazy. All of a sudden, like, all their accomplishments, everything good that they have done goes out the window. That's all a projection. That's literally all a projection of what they do to themselves. You think that all the people who are canceling all these people haven't done bad things? You think that when you mess up and you choose to be a different person, you choose to be a better person, and all these other people are going to have these opinions about you, you think that they haven't messed up? They're only not being able to accept that you have changed as a person. You or other people are not able to accept that people can change because you do that to yourself. You do not accept the fact that you can change. They do not accept the fact that they can change as a person, and they take their mistakes and make it who they are. Because it's like the same thing with people who come out of prison. They be a changed person. I mean, like, I guess that's what prison is for, but like, at the end of the day, people can change, and that's not an unknown thing. People are just projecting what they do to themselves. And so it should not be your problem if someone else has an opinion about you and you've already changed as a person. See, I myself do not care if I make a mistake anymore, because I know for a fact that that mistake does not define me as a person, and it only defines me if I choose for it to define me. And so if I mentally choose to be a different person, if I mentally choose to switch up who my mental image is in my head, that problem has nothing on me. Like, it's in the past. Like, it's already gone. That's not who I am. It should be the same thing for you. Just because you messed up, just because you do something, just because you did something, doesn't mean that that's who you got to be right now. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about me, because all that matters to me is the opinion I have about myself. Because when you're outside searching for that validation from other people, that's just a sign that you lack the validation within. And so you cannot be searching for validation from other people to find your worth through other people's lenses, because other people's lenses are always going to be distorted with their own projections. Change for you, because the only person that's going to be there for you forever is you. All the times that you're going to fall down, you're going to pick yourself back up. Okay? Remember whose life this is. It ain't nobody else's but yours. You choose the story. Okay? It's really as simple as that. You choose the story. The story that you tell yourself is the story that's going to play out. Okay? Simple. Everyone comment what mistake you're letting go of today and create that new identity. What is the new identity you guys are telling yourself now? Please. I need to know y'all are listening, because I cannot be saying this and it's just going, and it's just me in my room. I gotta make sure y'all are absorbing what I am saying. I know y'all are hearing me, but I gotta see it. I gotta see it through the comments. I gotta see it through the likes or the subscribe button. Okay? Thank you. But with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, please let me know. Let me know what part spoke to you the most. Let me know what part helped you out the most. But if you want to see more videos of me talking, hit that subscribe button, because you will not want to miss all the consistent uploads that I'm going to be posting. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. You better be telling yourself that too. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love, y'all. Feel like this video spoke to you and you're ready to level up? It's not a coincidence. I am now offering one-on-one life coaching lessons to anyone who wants to shift their energy, to break old patterns, and to step into the highest version of them. And this isn't just advice, this is real transformation. So if you feel called to this, don't wait, trust that inner calling, and you can use the link in the description below to book a call with me, and let's make some real change together. I'll see you there.